Welcome back, guys. This is Krishna, and welcome to AI Martian. So, in last session, we talked about MAE, mean absolute error. We are talking in the concept of deep learning, like about losses. So, losses are various type. Means this is the last loss function which I'm going to explain you, which is Hubbard loss. But there are a lot of losses function there available in the market. So if you guys want to explore, you can explore them. But what I'm thinking, like the mean square error, absolute mean absolute error, Hubbard loss, or binary cross entropy, categorical cross entropy, these are most important. Okay, so I'm talking about important stuff. Okay, if I'll get time, I'll definitely explain more losses. Okay, but in this sequence, Hubbard loss is the final loss we have in the sheet. Okay, so in Hubbard laws, what happened basically, suppose if you have outlier in your data. Outlier means, I will explain you that. So let's go to Google Colab sheet and we will understand this. I will simply give you the mathematical overview of the same. Okay, and in the next video I will show you how to implement Hubbard laws in your code while training a model. So let's go to Google Colab sheet. All right, guys. So the most important thing is why we are using Hubbard laws. What is the benefit of using Hubbard laws? So see, in mean square error and mean absolute error, these two error function, loss function, I have teach you. So in mean square error, basically what happened when you have error, which is very minute, okay, very less, okay, like each residual are very less, like a 0.1, or you can say 2 or 3 kind of value there in losses. So in that case, to optimize our model, okay, using some gradient formula, okay, so to reach global minima, this is very tough to a model to reach global minima. Now what is global minima, I will let you know. Okay, but not in this video. So to reduce the loss, if your loss would be higher, okay, it is easy to reduce your loss, but your loss itself very low and you need a perfect model. In that case, what generally do we implement mean square error? We square the value. For example, let's say I'm getting loss. Let's say I'm getting loss like 2, 3, 6. So mean square to what? Mean square simply square these values. Okay. So the new value what I will get is 4, 9, and 36. Some sort of value I will get. So mean square do what? This is mean square error loss. Okay. So mean square error simply square all the values and give us a larger kind of entity. All right. So we are easily able to reduce the value of the loss. Whereas mean absolute error, mean absolute error, when you have, let's say, loss like 4, 9, 36, you are getting a new loss, let's say, okay, which is already higher. Okay. So in that case, mean absolute error we calculate. We do not square them, because if we will square them, we will try to fetch mean square error. It will become a huge kind of value, like a user value, right? Which is less appropriate to optimize it. Okay. So mean square error always use when our losses is low. Mean absolute error we use when our losses is high. Okay. But now when we use Hubbard loss, this is the question and this is the video all about. So apart from this error, there are one more factor in our data set that is called outlier. Now, what is outlier? Let's say in India, people are getting salary of 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, 1.5 lakh, etc. But this is the salary of, let's say, 4 person. But one person getting salary 1 CR every month. So he is an outlier. He is not following this trend. Okay, he is not following this trend. Similarly, a person getting salary of let's say 1,000, 1,000, he is also outlier. His max a trend outlier, he is mean trend outlier, because he is on minimum side, he is on maximum side. In this case also, we use to reduce loss using Hubbard loss. So keep this thing in mind. Hubbard loss is beneficial of those kind of data on which you are training a model who has outliers. Okay. And second one, Hubbard loss also used when you don't know like what are the losses, like it is a minimum or maximum in size. Okay. So Hubbard loss itself have a mathematical formula in it. Okay. I'm going to give you the formula here. Okay. Okay, let me write down the formula of loss, Hubbard loss. Okay. So loss delta y comma y cap. Okay, there are two scenarios. The first one is 1 upon 2 y minus y cap. Okay, and their square. It is for those value where y minus y cap is less than equal to delta. Now, what is delta? I will tell you about it. But this is the first scenario you guys have to understand. This is the second one. Okay. Delta dot y minus y cap. All right. Y minus y cap. And you have to again subtract it by 1 upon 2 delta. Okay. This is for those where y minus y cap should be greater than delta. Now, what is delta? This is called delta. Delta is a threshold value. Delta is a threshold value. It only help us to understand like whether the loss function have to use mean absolute error or mean square error to find out the loss. So if your y minus y cap, okay, is less than this delta, okay, means the value should be smaller. Okay, let's say your loss is your actual value. What is y? Okay, let's go about this first. What is y? Y is actual value which we get in data set. What is y cap? Y cap is predicted value. Predicted value. Okay, what we will get using our model. So if I will subtract actual value minus predicted value, and their value should be, absolute value should be smaller than delta, that means it should be going under MAE, because the loss, absolute loss, because we are using modulus, absolute loss or residual of our data point is smaller than this threshold value. And this threshold value only decide if the value should be smaller, residual value should be smaller. The Hubbard law simply use MAE. If the value of y minus y cap, the value of y minus y cap, y minus y cap is greater than this delta, it will simply give you MAE kind of operation. Sorry, MSE kind of operation. It will simply give you MSE kind of operation. Okay. So this is the formula of Hubbard laws. This is the formula of Hubbard laws. Please make a note of it if you guys want. Okay. Because this thing you guys have to understand. Now I told you what is a threshold value, what is a y actual value, and y cap is the predicted value. Okay. This is the formula. Now, key point you have to remember first, why we use Hubbard laws, if anybody will ask. So it work well with outlier containing data. If you want to train a model, data set you can say. If you are training a model, let's say, and in your model there are a lot of outlier, okay, because means you didn't pre-process the data, let's say. In that case, you can use Hubbard laws while training a model. Okay. Second, it is robust. Robust. Okay. Means it will not crash. Okay. And for beginner, it is very much important to understand like these loss function like MAE, MSE, and Hubble. Okay. These all used for regression task on regression model training only, not for classification. Keep this thing in mind. So these things you guys have to understand. Okay, this is the only thing about Hubbard laws. Okay, so you guys have to simply understand where residual is low. Okay, residual means y minus y cap. This will give you a residual means one data point loss. Okay, that is called residual. I coined this residual term multiple times. So you guys didn't know, please go through my playlist. Okay, residual means if I'm calculating particular data point loss, that is called residual. If I'm calculating the loss of whole data set, it is simply a loss. Okay, keep this thing in mind. So these things are the key feature using which or considering which we use Hubbard laws. Okay. Now in the next video, in the upcoming video, I will let you know like how can you implement this Hubbard laws in your function while model training. Okay, how can you use this Hubbard laws in your model training, okay, as a loss function. Okay, I will explain you that. So that's all for this video, guys. Hope you like this video. If you really like this, please do like, share, subscribe, share with your friend families, and let me know if you guys getting any kind of error or problem in your code. Comment me. You can join my Instagram, my Telegram channel. Okay, you can contact me using email. You can contact me using WhatsApp because I already provided you the number. Okay, so guys, hope you understand this. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for your support and comments. Thank you.